Are you an imposter? I went to a keynote of Ryan Holiday from the Daily Stoic. He spoke there about Stoicism and all the lessons from it. There was one lesson that he talked about that made me realize a lot of things and made me reflect after 2 years of entrepreneurship, or as a freelancer, just how you want to call it. Well, those lessons and those reflections that I had after the talk of Ryan Holiday, I will take with me in this video, so you know how to build yourself consistently based on some stoic principles that I took out of that keynote, and see if you're an imposter or not. We will talk about your instrument, what you know, and the weight of leadership. Your instrument. There was this one sentence that he said, and that was, the mind can't go really far without the body. Your body and mind are your instruments. And just like instruments, if it's a guitar, a trumpet or whatsoever, you need to sustain it, else it will stop working or it will not function as good as it did before. So that holds up for your mind and that holds up for your body. Do you eat good? Do you sleep good? Do you work out consistently? Do you take care of your body? Are you consistently learning, and are you consistently trying to improve? Do you take care of your mind? When I was in theater school and I had singing classes, so that's way back because believe me, I'm a bad singer. My teacher always used to tell me, every musician has his instrument that he needs to take care of. But when you're singing, when you're a vocalist, you're the instrument. And that lesson from theater school back then stuck with me, because when you study to be an actor, or it does not even matter which profession you does, your body and your mind are your instruments. And if you don't take care of them well, your instrument will not function as well. What you know. This is a big realization for me that I had after that talk, because I always thought I knew so much, and I was certain of it. And when I look back honestly, I did not knew shit back in the days. Even when I look back at my first videos from almost a year ago, I'm like, damn, that guy, he does not even know shit. He just repeats on lessons that he did not learn yet. And that realization, the moment that I always was so certain that I always knew it perfectly whatsoever, humbled me a lot. That thought of the past. Because I realize right now that the more you know, the more there is that you don't know. And you just realize that the more you know, the more you don't know. I think it was Socrates who said, the only thing I know is that I know nothing. And the main takeaway from that is that you just need to be humble, because most of the times you don't know shit. And even for me, even though I have 2 years in right now and I have a lot of marketing knowledge, a lot of sales knowledge, and was able to help so much entrepreneurs within my job right now as a sales and marketing consultant, I'm still consistently learning, and I still don't know shit, even knowing that I know a lot. So just be humble about what you know and be curious about what there is to learn. Think of Plato's cave. Plato, this philosopher, he had this theory of his own cave. And in that cave, people were chained up to a wall and only saw their own shadows because of a fire that burned behind them. One person broke free out of that cave, and he went outside and he saw the whole world. He saw there was green grass, there was the sun, the night, the moon, everything he saw. And then he turned back to the cave. And he saw the people chained up with the campfire, only seeing the shadows of the campfire behind them. And he tried to talk to them. He said like, come on, cut yourself loose. There is so much more outside. But the people were chained up, only saw the shadow of the foreign person who was also chained up. He did not exist anymore within the world of the chained up people. He was just a shadow, because that was their world. So even though the other person broke free, to others he did not exist anymore. What you don't know, you don't know. And that is why being humble and always eager to learn is so important because every perspective is different within that. Just think of the story of Plato's cave. And then the last one, and I really gave a lot of thought to me, and that's the weight of leadership. Ryan Holiday talked about this at the end of his talk, and he said that when it comes to leadership, there's one thing you need to realize, and that's just that there are so many bad leaders. There are more bad leaders than good ones. And that shook me, because when he said that, I really realized that leadership has a big weight to it, a lot of responsibility. Because as a leader, it's your job to get a group from point A to point B, to lead them. And if they don't arrive at point B, you're responsible, because you're the leader of the group. And that just made me realize I don't know what I don't know. I was arrogant back then because I thought I knew everything, but now I just know I don't know shit. And I'm my own boss because I'm a freelancer. I'm building a company right now, but that's things you will hear more on in the future. I'm a leader then. And there are so many bad leaders. I don't want to be a bad leader. And I still have so much to learn. And I still want to learn so much. And the weight of leadership is so heavy if I really thought about that. There's so much I still need to change about myself, because as a leader, you need to be the example. You are the standard of the company. And if my standards are too low, the company will not perform. It just made me think, like, how much are you really worth? And that's what I want to end with. If you have the ambition to build a company, if you are a freelancer, know that you always consistently need to improve and that you don't know shit. Just humble yourself, because that's the big takeaway for me from this whole keynote of Ryan Holiday about Stoicism. You need to set the standard. You need to carry the heavy load. You need to get yourself, your group, your pact from point A to point B, because that's what a leader does. And that's also when I realized that I just need to reset my own standard as well. And I just need to improve way more as well for myself as a freelancer and for the company I'm building right now that you will hear more about in the future. I'm just curious what you took from this. Let me know in the comments. Also, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe, because there's a lot more to come about marketing, sales, and personal development, and of course, leadership. So stay tuned, and visionaries, I'll check you out later. Ciao.